Um, Okay, it's about three after. There's no one left in the waiting room here, so I think we can go ahead and get started. Thanks again for joining us today. We're going to be talking about how to fill out credentials for the upcoming convention in September. And with me today is Amy Gollinger, National Business Rep and expert on all things convention. So I will turn it over to her.
Expert, the pressure is on. The real expert is on the call, though. Bill Fennedy, who is chair of the Credentials Committee, is with us. So glad that Bill could join us. If we have any complex questions about credentials, hopefully he can answer them for us. But my role for today will be walking you through the process of filling out your credential, which is a triplicate form. It looks like this. Matt, maybe you can put it on the screen for a sec. And they were sent to you from national office at the end of June. They were sent June 28th. So I am hoping that you all have received your credentials for your local lodge. The number of credentials you received is based on the number of members you had in the last pay period of May. So the national office staff went through those remittance reports for the last period of May. We calculated how many members you had, and then calculated how many delegates that would entitle you to for our upcoming convention. So this is what the form looks like that was sent to you all. It's about a half page. It's a triplicate. So the first part of the form is white. That's the part that you'll fill out with a pen. And as you can see, the first part of the form says name. You'll put your name, your home local lodge that you're a member of, that you pay dues to. And then it says, let's see, I'm going to move this little box that shows our faces so I can check out this document. Okay, so Amy Gollinger is a member of NFFE Local Lodge 1461. That's my home local where I pay dues. Has been elected as a delegate to represent NFFE IAM Local Lodge number 1461 at the 52nd convention. Some of you may have a question about what this council portion for, the second blank line on the second line. Each council gets one vote at convention. So if you have spoken to your council president and he or she has designated you to carry that one council vote, you would put that there. You would put the VA council for that one vote, or the Forest Service Council. For this federation to convene September 16th, that's the first day of our NFFE National Convention. The bottom blank lines are you to fill out your personal information. So your home address, your, let's see. Okay, yeah, so 2 lines for address. First is your house stuff, and then it's your city, state, and zip, your zip. Then it will be your personal email, non-government. We want your personal email so we can email you and correspond about this if there's any issues. And then if your local lodge elected any delegates to take your place in case you're not able to go, in case of illness or injury or whatever else, put the name of the first and or second delegate at the bottom. If your local did elect a delegate, an alternate delegate to attend in your place if you're not able to attend, flip that white form over when you're done filling it out, and please put that person's home address and email so that we can contact them should we need to. The instructions for all of this were sent with the triplicate form. So Matt, can you throw those up just so people know what they look like?
Sure can.
This is a 3-page document that explains in detail what you need to do to fill out these credential forms. We are asking that you send your filled out credential forms they have to be received in the national office by August the 23rd. So that's received, not sent. So if I were you, I would give a solid week of mail time. So I would say send those in, by mid-August to make it in time. We're asking that folks send them in via mail to our NFFE National Office. The address is located on the document that you're seeing. We're also asking that you take a copy of the white form and that you send a digital copy to NFFE Convention 2024 at nffe.org. Sometimes things get lost in the mail. Sometimes they don't reach us the way they should. Sometimes they're delayed, whatever the case may be. Let's just have a digital copy to make everyone feel more secure in knowing that their credential forms have made it to the national office. So yeah, that has to be done by, they have to be received by NFFE National by August 3rd. Some locals may have received notice directly from the Secretary Treasurer's office that the local lodge that they're a part of is in arrears. That means that their dues rate was not set at the appropriate amount. Maybe they were delayed in implementing the yearly increase or something like that. And so they may have gotten a letter with an invoice from our Secretary Treasurer saying, hey, you guys owe $200 because your dues rate was not set at the appropriate amount. Come January, first pay period of January 2024, you owe this amount of money. If you get a letter like that to your local lodge and you have questions, please reach out to the national office or to your business rep. We can help you troubleshoot, figure out what's going on, figure out if the amount is accurate, figure out why you have an arrear, and help you get that paid. The deadline to pay that amount so that you can be sat at convention is August the 19th. So I want to make very clear, if your local is in arrears, if it owes NFFE National money for dues, it will not be sat. Your local delegates cannot be sat at convention. So make sure that you're up to date. If you didn't receive any notices in the mail, you're fine. Don't worry about it. BR's just recently got the list of locals that are in arrears, and we're working that too. So if you're in my region, I would have reached out to you and said, hey, you're in arrears. Let's work on this and figure it out. As well as the other business reps as well. So that is sort of the quick and dirty of this credential process. Bill Finity, do you have anything to add? Did I miss anything? Any pro tips from a veteran convention attendee? I hear nothing. Let's see. Matt, do you see Bill Finity?
He is on the meeting.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can.
Sure can.
Okay, so I think you pretty much touched all the bases. I have a couple little things. What about the seal? Because this happens at every NFFE convention. They send in the credentials and they either don't have a seal or forgot to put the seal on it. So we got to talk about how we're going to deal with that. How we dealt with it in the past was, as long as the credential was accurate and reflected the correct amount of delegate votes that each delegate had for their local, we kind of let the stamp slide. I don't know if you want to do that now, but
Yeah.
I think it's a good plan.
I mean, you're the boss man of the credentials committee, but our expectation is that we do not want to prohibit anyone from being seated at convention due to lack of seal. The process of getting a seal is sort of a long drawn out process through the IM. It can take months. If you're just starting the process of getting a seal now so that you can put it on your credential forms, you're not going to get it in time. Make sure your credential is filled out properly. You can send a note to the NFFE Convention 2024 at neffe.org letting us know that your local doesn't have a seal. We will pass that on to the credentials committee. You've heard now that Bill Finity is giving you all his assurance that he is confident the credential committee will still approve that, that delegate to be sat at convention. Great point.
I think that I had one other thing, but it was pretty minor. So I think you did a fine job, Amy and Matt.
Thank you. We wanted to open up the rest.
Oh, I got it. I'm sorry.
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
This.
Hit
So the digital one that you want sent to that email, the digital credential. In the past, a lot of locals didn't do that for some reason. Not very good ones, but they just didn't do it.
Sure.
So how are we going to deal with that? And I think, again, we should, if their credentials are intact and correct, how much do you want to push back on the digital problem?
We won't push back on the digital problem too much. Really, it's just to confirm that we have record of your credentials. If just for the local lodge's sake, for your peace of mind, I recommend, I mean, you can even take a picture with your phone and shoot it via email to the NFFE Convention email address. It doesn't have to be a complex or difficult process. We just want to confirm that we have the credentials that have been sent in. So if we have a digital copy, we have a timestamp, we know when we received it, we can confirm that it's there. So if we have a digital copy and we don't receive the paper copy, we can call you and say, hey, did you mail it? We didn't get it. It's really for the local lodge's protection. If you don't do that, but we do get the paper copy, fine, no problem. You know, we'll make copies, no big deal. But do it for your own peace of mind and your own local lodge's, you know, safety and protection, I would say.
Well, for everybody that's on the call, I think one of the more important things to emphasize is what you have to have with you when you come to the convention. You know, you have to have, there's a local copy and then there's the copy you have to bring with you. So if you send in a digital copy, then if you forget it, then we'd at least have a copy. But
Yeah.
people forget them. I mean, they just do. They forget them.
Yeah. I'd rather you forget your yellow copy of the delegate form than your underwear, if you had to choose. You know, one is more important than the other. So, but I will go over the triplicate form. So it's a triplicate form. There are 3 pieces of paper. The first one is white. That's the one you sent to NFFE National. The second one is yellow. That's the one the delegate keeps. That's what you want to bring with you to Minneapolis, Minnesota, so that you can present them to us when we give you your badge that says how many votes you'll get. And then the pink copy is for the local lodge's record.
It's pretty simple.
Yes. But thank you for bringing up. That's important. All right. Show of hands, who has not yet received their credentials in the mail? Matt, can you see this? Can you see show of hands? I can't yet.
Yes, it looks like Brad from local 376, and then Steve, who's joining us by video there.
Steve, what local are you from?
I'm from 1384, Amy.
1384. Oh, Irene Gorsica's local.
Yes.
Hi, Steve. Good to see your face.
How are you? Good to see you. And I did get a letter. I did get an arrears letter too, so.
Okay. Okay. I'll follow up with you on that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay. And Brad, 376, where are you from? What's the agency?
Forest Service.
Forest Service. Okay.
I got the convention call, I got the candidate nomination forms, I got all that stuff, but what you have on the screen there, I do not have.
Okay, cool. Let me look into it, Brad. I'll follow up with you, okay?
Okay. I was gonna call Max after as well.
Okay. Where do you want them sent, Brad?
To my house.
Okay. Do me a favor, shoot where you want them sent in an email to that NFFE Convention 2024 at neffe.org.
Okay.
And we'll email we'll email them out tomorrow to you. Or I'm sorry, we'll mail them out tomorrow to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Brad.
And then lastly, Willie Pack from local 639.
Willie Pack, you haven't gotten yours yet?
No, we've been having some problems with the mail distribution and mail attendance in our post office here. So they may be locked up in that office back there, but no, I haven't received it as of yet.
Okay. Do you want me to take any action? Do you want me to cancel those and send you new ones to your house? Would that be better?
Yeah, that would be better. And I'll do the same as the previous brother. Just go ahead and send them to. I'll send you an email with all my information.
Cool. Thank you so much. I'll make sure it happens.
No problem.
Thanks,
Okay.
brother.
And then lastly, we have Mark Span. Mark, what local are you from?
Local
Chicago,
739 with GSA.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Mark,
I can
I will
check.
look into this and see what's going on.
Okay. I'll check on my end too.
Okay, sounds great. I'll be in touch by tomorrow close of business, and we'll let you know where we sent them, you know, if we have any issues on our end, and you let me know if you found them too.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have one other person on their phone, it looks like, on a Samsung phone. You know who that is?
Oh, maybe there. Nope.
Jesus criminy. Only this time, damn it. All right. My name is Dominic Mora. I'm the recording secretary for Local 919 at Camp Pendleton.
Okay.
We received 5, I guess we just plus upped.
Yeah.
So we rate 5 delegates. We only selected 4.
Okay.
Can
Great
one of them
question.
be assigned a second vote?
Yes. Great question. That leads me into some information that I forgot to share with you. So, a delegate can carry as many as 10 votes, 10 credentials, if they are a delegate from their home local. For the locals who want their voices represented at convention, but who are not able to send a delegate, it's important that you reach out to your business rep or to your council as soon as possible this month, preferably, so that you can find someone to carry your votes to convention for you. For example, Willie Pack, local 639 in Baltimore, he is not sending any delegates to convention. He has asked me to carry his votes to convention, which I plan to do. I am a delegate for my home local, which is in the Baltimore area, the Naval Observatory. So I will be carrying my votes for my local as well as his. So yes, you can carry up to 10 votes. And if you are not able to carry your votes, please reach out to your business rep or your council representative because they can carry them for you. And important to note, you tell them how you want to cast those votes. So once, we can send you a list of all of the people who are running, and then your local will make a decision about how they want to allocate their votes and who they want to vote for. You tell the person who's carrying them for you, and they will so cast your votes for you at convention.
Amy,
So we have to delegate one of these 4 people that we're sending to be 2 votes instead of just a single?
Correct.
Do
Yep.
we have to assign that?
Yes. It's however
And
you like.
how do we assign that?
You can decide at your local lodge meeting this month. That's sort of the official way to do it. If you've already elected your delegates, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you could just say, I'm going to take 2, the rest take 1. It doesn't make much.
Smitty, you're taking 2, everybody else, you get 1. That work?
What's that?
I said, if you tell John Smith, hey, you're doing 2 votes, everybody else does 1.
Yeah.
Done deal?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
We don't have to mark anything on his convention sheet.
So John Smith, if he's taking 2, he will fill out 2 credential forms. Each credential form represents 1 vote.
Got it. That's the answer to the question. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Amy,
Yes.
can you hear me? Just one more thing. I know you don't want to be on here all day. So maybe it'd be a good idea to explain to people how you transfer your votes, your delegate votes, to someone else who's going to carry them if you're not going.
Sure. Great idea. I just wrote an article about this and we put it out earlier this week. So say your local doesn't have enough money in their bank account to send someone to convention, or say that you just had knee surgery and you don't want to fly across the country, but you still care about the elections. You know that the NEC, the executive board races are contested and you want to make sure that your voice is heard. So at your July local lodge meeting, and this will be the last opportunity to do it. So if you haven't had your July local lodge meeting, you would go to the local lodge meeting and you would say, listen, guys, convention is coming up. We're not sending anyone. We want to save our money for arbitration or our next Christmas party. So we are going to have I would like to have our business rep, Amy Gollinger, carry the votes for our local. I propose a motion to designate Amy Gollinger as the delegate for local 1641. You do a vote, people say yes. Then you would fill out the credentials. The credentials would say, Amy Gollinger, a member of local 1461, has been elected to represent NFFE Local Lodge, let's say 2. So that will say that I'm a local member of 1461, but I'm actually going to carry the votes for local 2. Then you would put, the person who's carrying the votes, the address, the email address, and the signature of the local president. So the signature of local 2 president would be the person who signed this credential, and the ST. And then if you got the local lodge seal, put that on there too. If your local lodge meeting for the month of July has already passed, you could call a special meeting. So you could reach out to your folks and say, hey, we forgot to do this. We want to send our votes to convention, but we didn't do it at our local lodge meeting. Let's call a meeting and you can vote to do that. That can be the only line of business on your meeting for the convention credentials.
Okay, it looks like Genevieve has had her hand up for a little while. Genevieve, do you have a question?
I do, thank you. So you had mentioned, Amy, something about an August 3rd date, but I didn't catch what that was referring to.
Sure. So some locals have not adjusted their dues properly. We adjust our dues on an annual basis to reflect the IM's per capita increase. And that goes into effect the first pay period in January. So some locals didn't do that. You know, they were a couple weeks late, or they didn't do it at all, or they had some issues. And so they have not been paying the correct amount in dues, which means they're in arrears. They owe NFFE national money. You
Okay.
cannot be sat at convention if you owe the national office money. If you do owe the national office money, you would have received notice either from your business rep or from the Secretary Treasurer's office. And the deadline to pay that money back to NFFE National so that you can be sat at convention is August the 19th, 2024.
Okay, thank you.
You are not in arrears, so sister.
No.
You would have heard from me already.
And I think Mark has his hand up too from San Francisco.
Sure.
Yep, go ahead, Mark.
Hey, everybody. Mark Smith, president of NFFE Local 1 out here in San Francisco at the VA. I had a question about sending votes or carrying votes. If a local president want to get in touch with another local president to, send their votes, etc., how might they do that? Is there a list of all of the NFFE Local 1 or NFFE local presidents and their contact info? I haven't seen that anywhere.
No, there's not. We don't have a comprehensive list that is available to local lodges, but you could contact your business representative and say, hey, just wondering if you knew of a VA local lodge that was going to convention. I'd like to send my votes with them. Can you connect me? And they would be more than willing to.
For sure. Is there like a policy that we don't have that we don't give out the contact information to local presidents, or is that like what's the deal there?
I don't know that it's a policy. I think it's pretty widespread throughout the labor movement. There can be issues of rating if that kind of list got out. So other unions could use it to figure out where our local lodges were and to try to conduct raids on our local lodges. So I think just as a general policy, that's pretty prevalent in the labor movement. Not trying to be sort of, keeping secrets about where local lodges are, the local presidents. I think, as business reps, we do our best to connect our people together. I connect my folks all the time. I just think that there's not one list that we push out to everyone. So just reach out to your business rep. They would be more than happy to connect you with whomever you need to get in contact with in your region.
Yeah, good question, Mark. Thanks for asking that. Do we have any other questions? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask, or send a question in the chat if you have a question.
I have one thing to add if no one's going to say something, or if no one else has raised their hand. Someone asked me about parking, and I don't know if I've communicated this yet, but I worked with the Visitor Center, and we did a microsite. It's now listed on NFFE National's convention page, but if you click on it, it will show the parking map. And there's parking for as little as $13 a day. So you don't have to pay that $54 that the hotel is charging for parking. For those folks that are, close to Minneapolis that will be driving, be sure to check that out, because you can pay as little as $13. You're gonna have to wheel your suitcase a little, down the block. I think it's about a block, maybe 2, but it's a much better price for your local lodges if you're interested in doing that.
Thanks, Amy. I'll send the microsite and our convention website in the chat here in a sec. It looks like our guys from Camp Pendleton had another question here.
What's up, guys?
Our, oh, there you go.
Okay, I think, Jesus. Doing this on the phone is not easy.
No,
My
it's
apologies.
No
Um,
worries.
so the $75 registration fee, every delegate is going to carry a $75 check made out to the National Federation of Federal Employees FD-1
You
and
got it.
present that when they get there.
Correct.
All righty. That answers that question. Thank you very much.
Looks like we have a question from Jeff Friday here.
Hi, everyone. Let me put my video on. So it was really not a question. I just wanted to ask Mark. I think I have the VA Council has a list of the locals, which I have. Do you want me to send that to you? Or do you have that
Hey,
already?
Jeff, yeah, no, I do have that list. I was just curious if NFFE National had a list of all of the NFFE locals. I know that information is publicly available on the OLMS website. So I was just wondering if there was like an easier way, like NFFE just has a contact list for us so we can get in touch with each other and kind of discuss and you know, potentially if folks want to carry delegates, votes, or anything like that, just so we're more in touch with each other. It's kind of if there's an easier way to do that than having to go to the OLMS website to get that info.
Okay.
Okay, and then we have one question in the chat here. Just to be clear, if we are delegating our vote, you just need the minutes of the local meetings delegating the votes. Do the credentials need to be sent?
I don't need the meeting minutes. I just need for the local to have those meeting minutes in case there's any issue, in case someone can test who the delegate is. So just make sure you have them. And yes, you still need to send in the credential form to NFFE National designating the person who will serve as your delegate. And then you need to send the yellow form to them personally so that they can bring that with them to convention.
Okay. Doesn't look like we have any other questions in the chat or anyone's hand raised. This final call for questions here. Okay, seeing none, thank you all for coming again. This meeting will be posted on the website, so you can share it with your locals. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our convention email. That's NFFEconvention2024@neffe.org.
Thanks so much, guys. We've got less than 2 months or about 2 months until convention. We're all getting excited and preparations are well underway. We're excited to see you all. Any
All right.
questions, let us know.
All right, bye everyone.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, thank
Bye.
you.
Thanks, Bill.
Bye now.